Good whatever to you, whenever you are watching this episode of the St. Cloud Moron Show, or as it's still known on Twitch, the St. Cloud Divorce Show. They don't like the word moron in their titles over there. I am your host, Dylan, and my fill-in co-host for today is here, Luigi Greenberg. Thank you for joining me, Luigi.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
And this is the show where we jump on the bandwagon of goofing on Aaron Imholte for some more watch hours and subscribers. Thank you for helping me get over that monetization hump, Mr. Imholte. Goofing on you is absolutely in.
Man, this is crazy. I'll be honest, I was not totally up to speed on the steel toe Imholte stuff until your show. But you successfully wrote me in, and I am very happy to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for being one of the beloved chatters. And thank you, folks, for joining. Super chats and now memberships are unlocked. We will have a special episode this Friday. TikTok Around the Clock will see a returning person, and I have a lot more of them for our first bonus segment for the first membership show on Friday. But we're not talking about people who don't allow mustaches. That is tomorrow. Hey. I know you don't like people who disallow mustaches. She's on tomorrow's show, TikTok Around the Clock. Today, Aaron Imholte, as we were talking about before we were going on the air, you got caught up with Aaron Imholte through me. Like, I don't know anyone who gets their Imholte news from Imholte. They need a filter. Blind Mike is a great filter. I'm a filter for some people. Thank goodness we've got the Clippers. I wouldn't have a show if I had to sift myself.
Yeah, it's nuts. I'll be honest, this guy bores me. It's a lot like John. I can't watch John directly either, but I do love anyone who can put a lens and a filter on John to make it interesting. And I guess this really falls into that same category where I cannot watch him. I've literally tried to watch this guy directly, and I'm just not a fan. Can't do it. But you make it funny, sir. So
the Clippers, they find the gold, and I am here to comment on it, give it a little bit of a goofing on aspect, that way making it transformative, because you're getting into the clipping game too. So good luck getting up to Stallion 19 and Doom are amongst the Clippers we have today, and they have blown up in popularity, so hopefully you'll be joining them soon.
Hey, I can only hope. And Doom helped me out, actually do a little bit of homework and catch up on this prior to coming on the show. So big shout out to Doom.
Yeah, big fan of Doom, big fan of Stallion 19, who this first clip is from. Today's clips will be focusing on two things: the 10th anniversary celebration live show and the court appearance. So we'll be getting into the 10th anniversary show first with this clip from Stallion 19.
Thing you do. Rusty Grammar says steel toe detractors are all jump.
I think I have this, at 1.5 speed. Let's get that up to normal speed. And continue, Mr. Imholte.
KNs. You know what? That's probably accurate. You know what I love about what we do at our anniversary shows? Like, we use bad language. The audience uses bad language. So it forces all these tough guy, free speech fucking streamers to, after it's a full room, everybody's laughing and having good shit on that.
Right.
The naughty words they're using. So they have to turn themselves into pearl clutch.
So that was the big story coming out of the weekend, was the naughty language being used particularly by the audience. So right here, it sounds like he's talking about the people who are like, oh, the naughty language. And he's not admonishing the audience, but that will turn around real quick.
Clutching bitches and go, it's just so inappropriate, that language. They have to turn into sit-down pee girls to criticize us. And I'm like, again, you guys, just stop going over our...
Sit-down pee girls.
Sit-down
pee
girls.
Does Aaron prefer the stand-up pee girls?
They turn into sit-down pee girls.
That would imply that he's a Ladyboy fan. The way that he says, really putting down the sit-down pee girls. We want some of those stand-up pee girls. Those are Aaron's type of girls.
Sit-down pee like, what is he even trying to say? I don't even know the joke he's trying to make. Like, he's trying to say these men turned into women. Is that what he's trying to say?
Which is the emasculating term when you're talking about a man who sits down to pee. That's often thrown at that guy. He sits down to pee. I know just lazy guys that want to sit down during that minute. And now that we have our phone, that minute is multiple minutes. We don't even need to bring our own magazine or shampoo container, as seen on Kingpin. Second show in a row I got to mention Kingpin. I already read that shampoo. I've got to do a review on that. It's funny how often I refer to these obscure movies, and I goof on Aaron for his obscure movie. Like I'm transforming into him. Enjoy me while you can, Luigi.
Well, I tend to appreciate your references. Big shout out to the Robert Zadar reference yesterday. That one just blew my mind. I'm sorry. I thought about that all day long. You and I are probably the only people that will laugh at that.
The Red Letter Media fans, he has become him and Cameron Mitchell. I did not know the name of those two actors from B movies before Red Letter Media shined a spotlight on them and is now in their Hall of Fame.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny. I do know Cameron Mitchell, but I will tell you the source of how I know about it strictly through Mystery Science Theater. They do a lot of Cameron Mitchell movies. That's the only reason I would know Cameron Mitchell. But
yeah, there's some crossover between those guys and Mystery Science Theater and Cameron Mitchell. Oh, so many terrible movies.
So many bad ones. Space Mutiny. He was the I forget his title, his role, but he was in Space Mutiny. But just look it up, people.
Captain Mitchell, we'll call him Captain Cameron.
Yeah.
Major Mitchell.
But we could do this all day. We're here for the toe.
Yes, we are.
For our anniversary shows, it's always going to be a W for us and an L for you. Let it go. I help my haters more than anyone else, and they don't listen to me. No. I'm going to say this, guys. Enough with that shit.
Wow.
Really?
He's wearing the same shirt here, and he went from like, "Hey, the fans are fine. Don't fuck with them," to now, "Hey, fans, this isn't a different day. This is the same day." And little request from Sam Bibley. Your volume sounded good to me, but it might be coming through a little low to the audience. So
I did just turn it up just a tiny little bit. Please, Sam Bibley, let me know if that works.
Yeah, it's coming through fine to me, and I'm finding out more and more my baby's first streaming software not as reliable as it could be on the sound coming in and out. But back to Aaron. Same shirt. This is the same show, but they both have everything on of these people who are clutching their pearls, these ladies who sit down to pee instead of standing up, and
sit down pee girls. I'm going to be saying that all day.
Pee girls. So this isn't even a different day that he switches gears to start admonishing the audience of, "Hey guys, that wasn't cool. What I was just saying is cool."
Go. I help my haters more than anyone else, and they don't listen to me. No. I'm going to say this, guys. Enough with that shit.
Wow.
Really? I'm not cool with the N-word chants and shit. I said that Saturday night. I go, guys, cut it out with that shit.
See,
guys, I'll tell you why. Hold on, man. Yeah. I'll tell you why, guys. It makes us look like freetards. It makes us look low.
Not the fact that it is just highly unacceptable for white folk to be using that word, period, in 2024. This isn't 1824, where they threw that around, and Plessy versus Ferguson was happening, trying to figure out if humans were people or property. This is 2024, where no, even Eminem can't say that. Even when Jennifer Lopez in 1999 said that, Ja Rule had to be like, "No, I wrote it for. That's fine that you said that."
I find myself squinting my eyes a lot, trying with that suspicious but also, contemplative look in my eyes, where I'm like, "Wait a minute. Is that what he meant to say, or is he trying to say that?" But some part of me thinks that was a failed joke, where he says there might have been a cut in there, actually. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but saying we can't say the N-word because it makes us look like retards. I could see maybe a person who has more experience at stand-up comedy making that line funny, but when he says it, I just don't know,
It's like I really didn't get into racial humor when I did stand-up comedy, and Gino, I don't think does it right. When I hear Gino Bisconti, Aaron's attempt to get on a life raft over to the compound media mainland, I'm like, there's a clip of Sarah J, the porn star, walking off the show because she's offended by Gino just willy-nilly dropping N-bombs. And
that's funny.
Someone did put together a back-to-back clip of her being offended and coming out on social media. How dare he use that word? And then some old clips of her in an interracial scene, F me, N-bomb. But I do believe that had more artistic merit, Sarah J's scene, than the way Gino throws it out there.
Artistic merit. I agree.
That Saturday night, I go, guys, cut it out with that shit.
See, well,
guys, I'll tell you why. Hold on, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why, guys. It makes us look like freetards. It makes us look.
Okay, yeah, there was a little, there was a cut in there. All right.
And he did slightly censor that other word. Yeah, I miss that word. Not supposed to say that word either over here in the land of YouTube or 2024. And Gary the Conqueror, even Howard Stern had to change the name of some of his whack packers. I miss midget too. But
what is that? Wait. Is that a word we're not supposed to say? Because we say that quite a bit.
It's like when Tropic Thunder.
No, I meant YouTube. Does YouTube not like
so far YouTube seems to have too much of a problem. But just going back to when the word police really came out, it was Tropic Thunder going full artard. And then it was Little People around that time. Eric the Midget saying, "Don't use that word. It's the same as the R word or the N word." And to me, it's actually a medical difference between a midget and a dwarf. So that one mystifies me more than other ones. There's some other word policing going on. Maybe I'll remember some of the odd things that people are trying to get out there. But yeah, Aaron, the big point is everyone except for your backwoods town of St. Cloud, N-bombs are off the table.
Yeah. That one does seem like common sense, especially in a room full of white people in a dive bar. Like that's the last place you want to hear that. But you do you, Mr. Steel Toe.
Brow and retarded. And so the N-word chants and the K-word chants, like it's not, you don't see me doing that shit.
That's right. The audience, they had two racial chants that they were throwing out there. One for Jewish people and one for black people. They were throwing both of those out there during this show.
Don't, especially on my show. Don't start the N-word and K-word chants on my show. Throw your own show and then start those chants. When I was telling you on stage Saturday that I wanted you to cut that shit out, I wasn't kidding.
Well, see, they didn't believe you because you were shit-faced hammered by the time you hit the stage.
Right. Me being hammered by the time I hit the stage didn't help.
I addressed this last week as well, of being drunk when you do stand-up. If you're Doug Stanhope, that's his thing. He has been touring for years being drunk. When you do it like once a year, if that, as Aaron Imholte, no, you shouldn't be drunk getting on stage. That's your show. Musicians, I've heard the same thing of like, you start drinking during your set. Sure. Don't start drinking before your set and show up shit-faced. So
seems like good advice. And I was actually holding off a little to not see too much of the video from the event, because I kind of wanted to see it here fresh. But I did get some spoilers along the way, and some of the spoilers say that Mr. Imholte was kind of just as guilty as everyone else doing some of this stuff. But I'm going to wait to see the evidence for myself.
I didn't find any of the clippers who had video from this year. I do have video from last year that's quite interesting. But seeing it on other people's show, I know that No One Likes Onions got the exclusive of that video. So maybe the clippers will get a hold of that. It was Homo that he was leading the audience in a chant for. So,
you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Once you break that glass of being like, all right, we are going to yell out naughty words, there's people who are like, oh, we're allowed to say this about this word that gay people don't like. Let's do words that other people don't like.
Prime example of that, it's mob mentality. The throw the Jew down the well that Borat did. I mean, it's hilarious, but what you're laughing at is the fact that all you need is one person to get a chain reaction going. And if that person has a microphone, it's kind of guaranteed to happen. So to somehow not take responsibility for that, which seems to kind of be Mr. Imholt's MO of not taking responsibility for some of the things he does, it's kind of stupid.
I hadn't made the correlation to Borat, but yeah, him starting that homo chant was very similar to Borat having that original song in that country western bar somewhere in the Midwest. And instead of singing along with them, they were like, okay, we can sing along our own racial epithets now that you started us down this road.
Pretty much.
Felt my authority.
No, it did not. So what you need to do is what you're starting to do. You need to condition over time to work away from that.
There is this weird thing where, because of the kind of show I do, the audience thinks that I'll like certain shit. And I've never given the idea that I like that kind of shit.
Can I?
What they do is they go.
He has never given the idea that he would like. Are you familiar with Shaka, Luigi Greenberg?
Shaka? No, I don't think I am.
So one of the begging methods, he's got a few of them where he attempts to go over the top and he brings the hat out.
Oh, yeah.
He has a minstrel puppet, a very offensive puppet named Shaka that he brings out and will parade around and do like that very offensive turn of the century voice, boss. And I'm doing it very terrible there.
God.
Aaron's saying, what gave you that idea that I would like it? You bring out a racially insensitive puppet very often when you are trying to get people to give you money.
They go, oh, Aaron likes edgy humor. Yeah, but I don't like retarded, easy, simple, edgy humor. There's gotta be a rhyme or a reason. Because we do have black fans, we do have Jewish fans,
and you are the performer on stage, though, and your crowd does have, because of the way your show has been built, your crowd interacts with you when you're on stage.
Yeah,
they are not performers; they don't quite understand all of these things.
Yeah, so fucking cool it with that shit. I mean, whatever.
I mean, I'll go up there, I'll laugh at it if it happens.
You did it Saturday. You did it Saturday. We did what we could, but yeah, Raz, never again.
This sounds like he's clutching his pearls now, doesn't it? Sounds like he's sitting down to pee when he was just saying it. And this is same clothes, not a different episode.
Yeah, totally. He's now suddenly offended by this. I have trouble. Following along with his perspective or his mindset. I don't get what actually what it comes down to. I don't get the point he's trying to make, to be honest.
Flip flop indeed, Deadful. He is praising his audience and putting down the people who are and now he has flipped over to the
starting fucking chants like that. It's just gay. It's just fuck. I'm not offended by it. I'm like, oh my God. It's just try hard. It's just I get so cringed out when people like start like an N-word chant, like, oh, look, we're using the N. All right. Because like I can appreciate it being used comedically when it's strategic and it's put in there and you're like, whoa, that was a shocking like way to use that word to make that hit. We're just yelling it over and over.
Strategic.
I will stick by that. Gino is not strategic or making a point, and that's someone who has become very identifiable with the show. Not there any longer, but for many months he was a regular. And when I think Gino, I think of using racial words, just spurting them out there.
Yeah.
You just kind of sound like a retarded drunk more than anything else. And plus now, as the performer on stage, now I have to recover from that. There's no way you...
Mark Bass would want to do a cuckold chant. There's 2 ways to do that. Cuckold, or maybe you're a cuckold. You're a cuckold. 2 variants of how you could get that started, of calling him a cuckold.
You recover from that.
They did all start drinking at 2.
I know. That's why I say we might just not
sound like retarded drunks.
We might
they
not,
are retarded. It's 9:00 at night. They've been drinking since 2. They're retarded drunks.
We might not do a comedy show next year, and we might just let everybody come and party, and we'll like MC.
You've got people who are 7 hours into being drunk. It's the doors usually don't open that early on comedy clubs because you want them to be a little tipsy. You want to get them a couple of your items in, but yeah, after you get them all rowdy and have a whole bunch of events, and then you're like, all right, sit down and pay attention. Nah, it doesn't work so much
with a dive bar crowd.
Oh, yes. Stoney's is indeed a dive bar. And I just remembered that I forgot to give Mr. Blue Sky a plug for that theme that we had at the beginning of the episode. Last week got a good amount of views, so I did put on another movie reference for my thumbnail, this time with The Fly. Anthony Cumia. I believe next week will probably be twins with Anthony Cumia over Arnold and Aaron over Danny DeVito.
I like it.
My third mic, the doggy, is speaking up again. I will put this on mute for a moment while I calm him down and let Aaron take it over.
Okay.
See some shit and like do that. But like a stand-up comedy show, making a bunch of drunks sit tight and be respectful for 90 minutes is not going to happen. You know? And if you do have a comedy show at 8 at night, in fact, we talked about it this year too. We're like, maybe we shouldn't do the comedy show that late, you know, but it was too late to change it. But it's like, then you go up there and you're almost setting yourself up for them to do shit like that.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Like an interactive show. The Uncle Rico show at the first DabbleCon, I found that it was really fun, kind of like had an aspect of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's one that would go along well with a crowd being all rowdy and playing along with it. But a stand-up show, yeah, it's not supposed to be crowd participation after you've been partying with them and getting them rowdy AF all day.
And I just thought about it, well, hold on. I think someone mentioned it in the chat. But so was he the first person to throw the word out that they started chanting? Or did I? Anyway, it sounds like he was the first person to say it into the microphone. And now he's saying that he didn't want it, but he in fact might have actually been the one to inspire some of this stuff from the from the microphone. So again, all of that to simply say that it seems like every single big event in his life has to be rewritten in some way, or gaslighted. It's really kind of bizarre to me. It's starting to kind of all sink in that like any moment in his life, like whatever it is, sometimes it makes him look good, sometimes it makes it look bad. He just has to control some sort of post narrative about it as opposed to everyone getting facts. No, let me give you my perspective on it, and his perspective never really kind of lines up with the facts. Am I wrong about that?
People who know me know that these court documents are bullshit.
Yeah, that's really weird, and I really think that's kind of psychotic in a way. But
It's also a way to never learn a lesson. I've got a family member who does not like looking the fool, and they do foolish things all the time. So they lie, and they never learn a lesson from those foolish things. They just keep doing it and lying about it. So that's what I'm seeing in Aaron as well. He's always getting the win. It's a win every single time. When I think sometimes he just needs to take the loss and admit.
Just take the loss, Mr. Tollman.
Okay, so Spurg Snake in the chat is telling me, is saying that he started the homo thing. Okay, there you go.
That's what I saw on Blind Mike's show this past Sunday. He had some clips from the 10th anniversary show. None of the clippers had those, so I do not have them currently.
Oh, my dog's got some personality.
My third mic is really liking to speak up, and not now, Mr. Doggy.
They never have good timing.
Raz of Chaz with $5 says, sorry, I won't do it next year. I figured it would be fine because of what Gino said last year. Yeah, Gino says it once or twice in his.
So these are fans that linger longer, and they saw Gino last year, and we'll see some of what Aaron told them to do last year coming up next. I think it's more than Gino that was encouraging this language last year. So people paying attention who have been here for longer, who showed up in person multiple times, are being admonished for doing what he say.
Interesting.
In his act, he doesn't yell it and scream it. You also got to think about this. Like Stoney's is a bar, and sometimes the doors are open, and all of downtown can hear what you guys are screaming. And I don't think
and that's something we were discussing last week as well. I find it funny that this is a ticketed event, but there's a patio that was free that you could stand out on. And if they can hear that down the street, then the patio people can just be part of this show for free as well. This is an odd setup that you have here of just broadcasting it down the entire street to let people know. And as both Spurgsnake and was it Deadfool? It was the.
That's interesting.
He broke the glass with chanting the word homo. Come on, everyone chant this.
But so then and then afterward turns in what's the word he used? Pea sitting girl. What was the word he said?
Sit down, pea girl. He was saying earlier.
Pea girl. Yeah. So now he's the sit down to pea girl. And when that's what I'm talking about. That's really weird. Like there are things that he doesn't necessarily need to change the narrative on. This one was videoed, and
he's not taking his responsibility for, like, I kicked this off. I apologize that I kicked this off. No, just you people who paid money when you could have just sat outside for free and listened to this. You are the problem. But the instigator, I didn't instigate them to say this exact word, this lateral word. I encouraged them to say.
The video part is the part that kind of fascinates. Oh wait, did he not know that it was being videoed? My point of bringing that up is that he's trying to actually give a narrative to contradict what is an objective fact, in the video. So does he not know about the video? I don't know. That just, I feel like there's a layer in his brain that I just can't wrap my head around, in him trying to somehow contradict his own narrative against what people are seeing with their own eyes and hearing with their own ears. That's just crazy to me.
In 2024, you just have to expect there may be someone recording this, and he does this on his show pretty regularly. His show broadcasts out there one narrative, and then a couple months later, he'll switch it around. I didn't even start talking about April and Nick until they were arrested. No, you were talking about it for a month. We can go back to this exact channel and see you talking about it. So that's like a cognitive flaw of his, where he's trying to change provable facts.
That's okay. That's a great way. That articulates it better than I was. A cognitive flaw. And that is exactly the point I'm trying to make, is that there is an objective fact here with video and audio proof, yet he is still trying to, I don't know if he's trying to convince anyone, maybe he's trying to convince himself, but he's still just contradicting it. And that blows my fucking mind. Like, that's just crazy to me. But whatever, man. Like, I guess that's why we're here in the first place.
Thank you, Levy Time, for the $20 super chat. He just got here, and he is so glad that we're covering this clown. It's funny, I did get a message over on Twitter saying I can't think of anything worse than covering Aaron Imholte. But that's why you use a lens to watch Aaron Imholte. That's how Stuttering John is appetizing through Carl. An actual lens. When he came back, I tried to support him, but oh, that hurt so bad. Trying to actually watch him. And thanks, Spurgsnake, for throwing out some links over there to Twitter. I do have to pay for an account to stream live to Twitter. I am missing on some viewers I was getting, and a little plug for your AI art. You're becoming quick. I'm enjoying your additions to my show with the DJ Qualls, Aaron Imholte story, and me as Robert Zadar, the second of the three. I was looking handsome with that Zadar jaw.
You did. You actually look pretty good on that. And yeah, just real quick, I'm putting this hat on because I saw Deadful suggest that I needed a top hat. So there we go.
Thank you, Deadful. Now looking more magician-y with the top hat.
Yeah.
Cheetos needs that smoke. You know what I mean? So, and you're saying, oh, it's because of what Gino said last year. Right. Gino, one of the performers.
Mhm.
Let the performers handle the edgy shit. You guys just be drunk and have fun. You know? Whatever happened to yelling out, you're gay? You're a homo. I don't give you shit for that one.
Fast forward to next year, you're going to be yelling at everybody for calling you a homo.
You want to chant queer or homo or you're gay or, you know,
No, I get it.
butt pirate or whatever. Fine. Cool. Triple N writes, you getting mad makes it funnier. Yet believe me.
Once again, not realizing that throwing out offensive language towards one group of people, let's just keep it focused towards goofing on gay people. No goofing on anyone else with this bad language.
Man. And he sounds so immature. Like I feel like this is a conversation that you'd have with an angry teenager, not a 37-year-old man.
Me, this is the curse I've had for 10 years.
Yeah.
I built this audience and now I have to babysit it. And then when I tell it, hey, get off the windowsill.
You're children. All of you watching me, you're all children.
They get back up on the windowsill. They're just going to have to fall out of the window.
I am the adult in the room. It's nice that you support me, but let me be the adult in the room, because all of you supporting... Oh, way to shit on your viewers, sir.
Like Eric Clapton's kid, then they'll learn. I got to lose one. I got to have one curb stomped by 3 black dudes at one of our shows. And the black dudes go, you want any of this? And I'm like, no, I told them not to do that shit. I actually called this. I'm going to watch those 3 black guys beat him to death. And I'm going to go,
Hey, just wait. No, hold on. Let me call Melton's fan over here. They'll show you the video of when I told them not to do this.
yeah, Silver Wolf said, this is our audience in a nutshell. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
It's not that you can't. It's a context of if you should.
Right.
That's what,
guys,
that's what Aaron's trying to say. He's trying
oh,
he's
what
not
a
being an
what a
asshole about it
struggle
either.
there.
You're just trying to be like,
That was
guys, we need to
that
dial
was
this
such a
back
struggle to
little
try
bit.
to. That was such a struggle there to try to interpret Aaron. Ugh, yuck. And he even seemed like he was having problems trying to interpret that. That's just, it's sad, man. This guy is just really something else.
But he'll be coming back to regular radio coming in the fall. What a goal to have for 1999.
So yeah, I saw in the chat, I think it was Deadful that said that this might have been some kind of damage control for a potential job. And I guess that would make a little bit of sense, but also at the same time, is there any chance that anyone's looking for Steel Toe radio show on regular radio? I find that a little hard to believe.
Aaron has this problem where when things get into the preliminary talks, he'll go ahead and tell his audience about it. Last year, he was talking about this as well because he was having preliminary talks to maybe return to radio. So once again, he's in preliminary talks. Same thing with the Lifetime movie. Just someone reached out to him, and an associate producer who wants to be an executive producer one day is having the most basic of talks of doing a Lifetime original movie. And he blabs it to his entire audience when this good chance that a lot of projects die while they're being developed. In trying to be an Anthony Cumia clone, he's not telling us about his early life. There's so much I know about Anthony Cumia. Like, I know more about Anthony Cumia's childhood than like my parents' childhood. And he's only focusing on what's happening here and now. And certainly there's some sort of gold to be dug from his past experiences, because like these talks of things that might happen, you look foolish when they don't happen. So we're in this situation that we were in last year where a radio show might happen. And yeah, they would not take kindly to this type of language.
And we have made the decision to make the announcement here on Dylan's show that I was that Lifetime network producer that called him. It was me. It was all a goof.
You son of a bitch. Well,
really.
If you're still up to be an associate producer, I am having fun developing the script, and I do that for fun. I do like developing stories and world building. So taking this to a fictional retelling of what happened, I am enjoying doing that just as a writing exercise.
It would be funny to actually, if there was any way that we could, troll him, that we write a script where somewhere by the end of it, he's leading a charge of all of his followers with a bunch of American flags behind them, and he's leading them with his fists in the air and torches, just to see him be like, yes, this is how it happened, and this is how I remember it, and this is what the movie should be, just to pull the rug out from under him and say, yeah, it was all just to fuck with you, buddy.
That's coming up next, Levy time. If you read this chat, it's a little spoiler to the next clip that we are going to see from the 9th anniversary after we see him saying, how dare you use this language, audience bad, you children, me adult.
So there's even precedent for it. There's even precedent for him doing it, and he's still backtracking to say that it wasn't my responsibility. That, I mean,
I did not tell you to chant that this year.
Just oh my god, I can't get past that. Like, this guy's so weird.
Guys,
the way the world is right now.
Do you? You know what I'm saying to you right now? Whisper it to each other. Say it politely to one another, like you always do in central Minnesota. Just don't shout it at U.S. Bank Stadium decibel levels.
Don't make it a chant.
Yeah, don't make it a chant. I'm being looked at like I'm being unreasonable here. I'm not even saying never say the word again. I ain't your daddy. What I'm saying is, don't scream it at the top of your lungs and get 50 other people to join in with you.
Yes.
And if you joined in that chant, you are weak.
You are weak if you joined in that chant. Don't get 50 other people. Oh, we've got 3 seconds left. So let's just take this through, and then we'll join up with the 9th anniversary show in the next clip.
You're weak and you follow the crowd. Okay. This is from Real.
Oh, this is just the intro. That I was like, oh, I've got the wrong clip, but this is just the intro to Real Media Player, who has the clips from last year's 9th anniversary show. And Aaron doing a little contradicting.
I got the internet going nuts.
Knicks fans are The colloquialism. Say that drunk, am I right? The colloquialism for Knicks fans are knickers.
Good joke premise
boy.
there of what to call fans of the New York Knicks. Oh boy.
Oof.
Say that drunk, am I right? The colloquialism for Knicks fans are knickers. Because they support them. So therefore, I would like you guys to chant "Nobody's going." What I would like you guys to chant while he comes to the stage is after I announce him, if you could chant "Knickers." Knickers. I think it would encourage him. It would make him feel good. Are you guys down to do that? Does that sound okay? Fuck you! Come on, it's downtown Minnesota! What are you, a bunch of libtards or something? Oh, I'm trying to do.
So there we have it. This year,
Oh,
at the
boy.
10th anniversary, he did not encourage his people to chant the N-bomb. 1 year ago, this isn't 1 year ago. This is now. You're allowed to chant bad words for gay people, but not racial groups. No, don't do that.
And I don't want you to. And if you do, you are weak. What a dick.
How do you do a conservative?
That's why it's not very popular. Place for the brothers.
Wait a minute. Wait, what's that?
That's why this is not a very popular place for the brothers.
I can't see you, sir.
I'm sorry, I'm blind.
But now I'm scared. And I want to let you know how deep pockets Ricada has. He paid me to do all of it. And sir, I want to let you know, I thought your comic book was incredible.
At least he went with an Eric July joke rather than a 100-year-old teeth and eyes joke. I'm actually surprised that he didn't pick up on that lowest of low-hanging fruit there. So that was him a year ago.
Oh boy.
And it goes on for a while, but let's
Step
Hey,
one for the
sorry, just real quick. Do we have
Yeah.
any info on the numbers? I am kind of curious because that actually looks like a little bit of a crowd that was there on that one. I mean, given the space, but the limited video that I've seen of the latest anniversary show, it looked like it was few and far between. It looked pretty it was sparse. Is that the word I'm looking for? But-
yes, sparse is what you're looking for there. I heard there were 70 people at this one. I'm going by the blind Mike report on that. If the Clippers don't have it up, I'm not searching for it. But he was able to get a hold of that 10th anniversary show. To have a little bit of a different take on the coverage. Once I found that 9th anniversary show, I was like, I cannot believe this.
So why does the crowd look so different? Like, or I mean, like I should say maybe the what's the word I'm looking for?
Camera angle, maybe?
The style of the crowd looks so different. No, like the actual people look different. Like in that dive bar, it almost looks like it was a bunch of bikers. Everyone there just seems very, I don't know, normal. What's the word I'm looking for?
Last year Nick Ricada was a draw, so this might be more Nick Ricada fans, and this year might be more Stoney's regulars and Aaron fans.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes,
that's my guess. Because if I remember correctly, Nick was the headliner here. And he was before he had his big old blow up, and I was actually unaware of how darn popular that he was. That's my guess. That it's the Nick Ricada fan base.
That would make sense. And for any new viewers, maybe we should explain. Was Nick at the 10th anniversary show?
Oh no, viewers. Nick was not at the 10th anniversary show.
And why wasn't he in the 10th anniversary show?
Because he is dating Aaron's ex-wife. He is married to a lady, and they appear to be a throuple together with Aaron's wife, and they had a fun little thing going where they would fuck each other, and yeah,
Wow.
Mr.
Was that while
Ricada-
was that while they were all married?
Yes, they were these swingers for you folks who are unfamiliar. And Spurg Snake is dropping in if his little hotspot is working. So we're giving that a test. Thanks for dropping in. Usual co-host and fill-in co-host all here together now.
Can you hear me and everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I'm literally stealing Wi-Fi from across the street, so here I am.
Hey, Spurg, what's happening?
Not a whole lot. Thank you, Luigi, for stepping up, bro. I can't tell you how upset I am. I think I ruined my modem. Well, I didn't. The weather did. This time last week, I was in the same situation because my power had went out, and it took days for everything to come back. And
yeah, you had some severe weather. You had some severe weather in your neck of the woods, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Hurricane Florida. I appreciate you. The rain was nice. Believe me, I enjoyed it like that. But I don't know, man. Cleveland has like the oldest infrastructure ever.
Unfortunately, you did not have an escape pod like Johnny Crutches had here. That could have saved you from that situation.
Yeah, no kidding. I love that. I'm into mid-century furniture, and I kind of like the egg chair, but I wouldn't use it as a chair for a show. You know what I'm saying? Like it would be in the house for like a conversation piece. But yeah, like you said, he's sitting in an egg, waiting to be hatched.
One for the party, Johnny. We're gonna have another work meeting.
And this is more talk about the 10th anniversary show, also from our buddy Stallion19. Thank you, Stallion19. And King Yeti says it is not an escape pod; it is a butt plug. That is a big old butt plug. Ooh, what a variant on a butt plug where the hamster is inside and then you release it inside your butt. So let's patent that. Get the hamster inside the butt plug that then releases inside your butt on the market coming up soon.
I got the paperwork ready.
Meeting here real quick.
Good point.
We're moving that comedy show to the beginning of the party.
To the beginning of the party?
We can't do that at 8:00 anymore. It's undoable.
Well,
last year it was kind of a mess. This year it was kind of a mess.
It's always a mess.
Dude, they can't handle it.
Once again, calling his viewer base children. They cannot handle when it's the organizer's fault of we're going this direction where we are hanging out and we're just having a party and now let's all sit down. Maybe a 6 p.m. comedy, maybe not started at 2 because comedy in the middle of the day seems odd. I actually did see Maria Bamford at like 2 p.m. in Los Angeles at a random black box. But for the most part, comedy before night, it's odd.
And at the, excuse me, at the root of that comment is they, nothing to do with me or my contribution to this or my responsibility. They can't do that. God, this guy is so annoying.
It's his audience. He cultivated it with his repetitive style. That's what he does.
Uh-oh, the Wi-Fi isn't as powerful as we were hoping.
To make the same, and watch this. Aha. Maybe it'll do a little better here. That way you can put comments over my face and I won't be so disappointed.
Haha.
Uh-oh, is it?
Uh-oh,
Still
you
bad.
might have dropped out again. Giving it the old test. I can hear you again, sir. We will go to the...
Sucks. I turned my camera off so that way you can put comments on my face.
We'll go to the clip. Hopefully it evens out with the camera turned off and keeping up with that speed.
They were chanting the N-word. They got hammered and when I'm up on stage going, guys, stop. Like it got to the point where I wasn't just like, guys, come on now, you're being ridiculous.
I mean, again, right there, I said stop. There's video of this. That is amazing.
No, he didn't say stop.
And that's my point. Yeah, that's astounding. He's trying to contradict something that is on video and audio. He's saying, I said stop. Wow. I mean, that is amazing. That is really something. Is he delusional? Is he lying? Is he lying to himself? Like, is it a combination of all three? Like, what is that?
Trying to mold the world around you, and despite the fact that there's don't look at Exhibit A. Listen to Exhibit B here talking to you right now. Exhibit A of that past footage. Oh, no. Don't trust that. Trust Exhibit B, the witness testimony of Aaron Imholte, and the cultivating of these fans like Shaka. You haven't seen Shaka, but holding up a very racist puppet, a marionette puppet, to beg for tips. I always think of the YouTuber Lindsay Ellis. I was unfamiliar with her until her canceling. Actually, the first time I saw her, she was upset at J.K. Rowling, and that's just one of many things. I was like, that. I think J.K. Rowling was trying to have a discussion. The fans could have had a discussion, but no, people like Lindsay Ellis brought out the pitchforks and the torch and was like, you're talking that way? No, person from my childhood whose content I absolutely adored and built my life around. Get out of here. I hate your opinions. And Lindsay Ellis cultivated this fan base to cancel people at the drop of a hat. And then she got canceled for her Pocahontas Disney video, and that made me laugh. And that is my
funny.
Correlation to Aaron Imholte building up his racially insensitive audience.
That's.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Louis. Oh, I was going to say that's exactly what he did. He just cultivated this audience, and is blaming them for how they behave, even though he's the ringleader. He absolutely started all those chants in that. You guys are going to call me a homo for wearing a shirt. And they did.
And it's also typical lolcow behavior to point a finger at someone when there is obvious evidence of you committing all the things you accuse other people of doing.
I just ran into this with somebody else over the weekend. The exact same behavior. Constantly being an edgy boy and pushing boundaries, and then crying foul when YouTube drops the hammer on him.
You can't do both nowadays. You can be
you can't. No.
You can be a Rumble guy. If you want to appeal to YouTube, you have to play by YouTube's rules, as I have learned, and will not be playing so many clips from movies anymore. Even when you give me permission, sometimes you revoke that permission. Good buddy, YouTube, and your memberships and super chats. Thank you, YouTube.
Ridiculous, but it literally got to the point where I had to look at individuals and go, dude, you've got to chill. It got bad. I mean, there were probably a half dozen, 6 to 10 people who were, big fans, just wanted to be a part of the show. And they were just yelling the worst shit out that they could while the people on stage are going, guys. Like, I'm
guys and ladies who sit down to pee.
Doing
guys.
I had like 4 costume changes because I was
awful.
He had 4 costume changes. Very Corey Feldman of him to have 4 costume changes for one stand-up show.
Costume changes for a
Was that 4?
stand-up show.
He did. I know he changed into a Crusader outfit.
That's the one clip I saw of him, was in the Crusades type of outfit. I'm not sure what the other 3 were, but he felt them necessary.
Yeah, I think he just changed his shirt is what he did. He was trying to wear all his gaudy shirts in one.
Well, that's a
show.
minor type of type of change. So maybe he's I don't know what I'm going for there.
Like, maybe if I do this, it'll distract them. They'll get into like the costume change that I'm doing and like the theatery gimmick stuff. Nope.
That didn't work.
They just wanted to yell out their shit. Then we brought Pete up, and Pete said like 3 words, and we're like, "All right, thanks, Pete."
Yep. I don't know what we thought we would get. Like, I don't know what you thought you would get out of Pete without. Like, he didn't have any time to prepare. He's not really.
I don't know this Pete fellow.
Stage performer,
right? It was good to see Pete, though.
Good. You got another person who is not a stage performer. Like Gino and Keanu were his ace up his sleeve, and I wouldn't call either one of them an ace based on what I've seen of their stand-up. Where last year, Nick Rekieta, the big draw, not a stand-up comedian, but he did have people that wanted to see him.
Did he actually get on stage last year?
And Chrissy Mayer.
Oh, Chrissy was there last year?
Yes, he did. Because Chrissy, well, she was supposed to be, but her father was murdered.
Oh, yes.
True story. Yeah, and so she had to leave, and then Nick kind of filled in the comedy gap, quote unquote.
And he brought the audience, and that's really the biggest thing a comedy club is looking for, any type of venue. You can be a great comic, but if you're not filling out the seats, you go along to a smaller venue, sir.
Yeah. Or you could be a shitty comic and bring in seats, and then they'll still welcome you.
Mm-hmm. If you are a shitty local radio guy, you're probably awful at stand-up, but you've got this core fan base that listens to you every day. And that's what Aaron is hoping to be, a shitty radio guy who is able to throw these live events more often.
And it probably does bring... yeah, that's and I know Cheetos is happy to make that money that night. It's got to be a nice sizable chunk compared to a regular.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going backstage.
All right, thanks for giving it a try. There are a little hiccups in there, and thanks for joining, sir. So thanks for joining Spurg Snake. Giving it the old try of trying to get that stolen Wi-Fi to work, and it's working at times.
Hung out all day, and we just a lot of people, man. That tournament, I tell you what, man, adding beer pong to the end of the night with the karaoke was a lot of fun. That was a really good time.
You all had fun doing beer pong with karaoke?
Beer pong with karaoke. I kept having to leave my beer pong game to go do karaoke. I got all my Post Malone songs in, by the way. Oh, it was gay, too. There was one guy who kept following me.
As dumb as karaoke can be, I do have to give it a thumbs up. That helped the DabbleCon first year. It was a plus for DabbleCon, so I'm not going to shit on him for the karaoke. Beer pong, once again, very 2002. St. Cloud is just so 1980s, 2002 in so many ways. Like beer pong back even 2006, that was the thing to do. But 2024, it does seem like very college frat boy from almost a full generation ago.
Exactly. It's also a game to play when you are newly allowed to drink. I never really got beer pong, so I was like, why am I trying to earn the right to drink the beer that I could just drink by putting it in my hand? It always sounded, just the concept of it was just kind of dumb to me, but it's just something for kids. It's something for kids to play.
It was a college drinking game, just like when you break out a pack of cards and play Waterfall or several different types of things of like, all right, we can drink, but we can drink and have some fun with a little silly game.
Yes, I'm very practical and pragmatic about my drinking. If I don't want any obstacles in my way to my drinking.
Yeah, my drinking has changed as well. With that beer pong, you get like the Coors Light, Miller Lite, and you've got this dirty ball that you're throwing around on the table. Your wash cup that's just water, but getting your immunity up by getting a little dirt in your system.
I have to play Double Dare to earn the right to drink, or I could just choose to drink. Yeah, I'll just grab a beer from the fridge. Thanks.
Me around because he wanted to sing a George Strait song with me, and I'm like, asking once or twice is fine, but once you ask a guy to sing George Strait with you 3-4 times, it's a little gay.
Yeah, it's starting to seem like.
So we find out where George Strait becomes George Gay. Lame play on words, but sometimes I can't resist it.
You know, it's funny. Just real quick. By the way, I was kind of hoping you'd jump on my Double Dare reference, but you didn't.
I did not get on the Mark Summers. Oh, actually, Mark Summers. Very surprising that he was a germaphobe, being the Double Dare host.
Yeah, that is funny, isn't it? But one of the things that I when I first started watching your show, when it was all focused on the divorce, one of my first things I ever chatted was, is Steel Toe considered a comedy show? Because I honestly, sincerely could not tell. I was like, is this supposed to be funny? Is this, I just thought it was a guy talking and making bad jokes the way that a college lecturer would make a bad joke. I honestly couldn't tell. Anyway, all that to simply say is that these bad jokes that he makes are so bad that I I I don't know how he has listeners. I mean, they're just so awful, and I can't take it.
It's the radio format on the internet where he's going 4 hours a day, and he doesn't need to. When I first started this and doing it solo, I was like, all right, we're going for 60 minutes. Now when I'm doing a solo show, the goal is 90 minutes because I've gotten a bit better. With a co-host, 2 hours. But yeah, a 4-hour show. Aaron is not the guy to do that. There are some people who pull that off. NLO has been doing this for 18 years. He does his show for hours and hours. He has got that muscle to do this 4-hour internet show, whereas Aaron is bringing his radio show, no music breaks, no commercials, to the internet, and he's trying to force that mold, which is what we're seeing here. The local radio show, which is supposed to be a comedy show, so
yeah, but
it's meant to be a comedy show.
Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense because, like, morning drive radio comedy is not exactly the same as stand-up comedy by any stretch of the imagination, and you do tend to have a audience that might appreciate it, and maybe that is the answer to my question, because I don't know. I guess it just kind of fascinates me to have a show classified as comedy where the comedy isn't obvious. But
well, King Yeti is adding some comedy with the Stuttering John type of, here's $2 for you to read something that's going to make me giggle.
Okay, well, there you go. That makes, but I don't want to attribute any of that comedy to Aaron. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the Chatters. King Yeti and Jay Bra came over and were describing how they enjoy Aaron's stream because the chat is making it a party more than he is.
Like you're after something.
Yeah.
Speaking of after something, I want to know what the freaking lady that was throwing booze at me was after.
That's right. Aaron.
What?
Aaron is cheaper than Stuttering John. So sometimes he just doesn't know what to do. So he goes to the phones, he goes to the chat and reads some for free.
Oh, that's funny. King Yeti says I've never donated once. Okay, now that's fucking funny.
So if you're getting tired of those $2 a pop for calling Stuttering John a deadbeat dad, try to play by the rules like King Yeti does when Aaron is just looking around for something to do and brings up those chats.
There was one lady, her and I like her husband or boyfriend, I guess, I don't know, but she kept going and getting Jameson and Cokes. She just kept dropping them off at my table. And then every time that I started to finish.
So we've got a lady who is interested in our buddy Johnny Crutches. Go on, Johnny Crutches, get that lady. And I'm actually going to jump ahead. You want to hear this?
She would put another one there.
No, I'm sorry.
Like,
I
to the point of like,
I was just kind of curious if this was going to be delusional.
There's someone who has got a fetish about paraplegics, and the best way that she was able to do that night was with Mr. Crutches.
Would sneak up, like I was focused on texting someone, so I was like kind of leaning forward, looking down.
Sure.
She came up behind me and put one on the table and looked at everyone else on the table and just went shh, and then walked away. So I sit up, having finished, I think, my third,
as if he's under 18. Don't tell anyone I dropped this off for you.
Okay, so that answers my question. You could skip to where you wanted to go. Just curious when the delusion was going to come in. Totally delusional. I don't believe any of this.
Jameson and Coke. And I'm like, all right, that's it. We're done. We got those done. And I sit up and there's a full one right there. Is this happening?
She was trying to touch your cock.
No, that's what I asked.
Oh,
I asked, are you trying to touch my cock? He's as smooth as King Nobody on trying to get them ladies.
And you know what? And I'm sorry, man. I'm probably like totally just like grinding this to a halt, but it is just fascinating to me. He thought that was a punchline. Using the word cock is going to be funny. You know, just it's so immature. I mean, he's literally like just a child. She wanted to touch your cock. Ha 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 ha. That's funny. I use the word cock. What a dickhead. It's painfully unfunny.
And he's got to get himself into that radio training of not saying cock and fuck, because it is like a muscle. You drop that too often, he's going to be dropping cocks and fucks on the radio if they ever do go beyond step one. But he always tells us about step one. Oh, step one is happening. They said, sure, let's schedule a job interview. Coming back.
Oh,
Nick, last name says, how much money do you think?
Oh, he's back. Our buddy Nicholas is back. And look at him. I'm going to have to call him Duke Phillips. I really have nothing to add about that other than we are returning to that word.
yeah. I mean, and again, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what I was saying about the last thing, is that he thinks that saying a taboo word is a punchline, or not even a taboo word, just saying a word that shouldn't be said is a punchline. That is not a punchline. Anybody could do that. A child could do that. It's just, it is a lack of comedic ability, a lack of comedic skill, and a lack of just general thought.
And let's see if let's see if Nicholas actually super chatted him or if he's reading this one for free.
Nick, last name says, how much money do you think Gino and...
Not a super chat. Very much like King Yeti, just sees that name and decides to read it.
Because he thinks it's
would have
funny.
made Saturday.
Jesus.
When Opie didn't get it, it was hilarious. That was the first time I saw our friend Nicholas pop up, and Opie just absolutely not getting it was very funny. But yeah, just trying to be that. I saw Gino do it. Well, Gino is a low tier comic. He's made me giggle twice in all the time I've been aware of Mr. Bisconti.
And you know, I don't hate Gino. I actually do tend to find him entertaining sometimes. But what Gino does differently, if for any reason Aaron is trying to, you know, follow the footsteps of Gino, is Gino tends to have a personality behind the things he says.
He does have a bombastic personality.
Yeah, and and to just lazily say a word and think that that's supposed to deliver a punchline is, man, that's just bad. Thank you, Spur.
Saturday night, if they hadn't stabbed you in the back. Well, because they have to travel and stuff, we gave him $2,000 last year. I mean, I didn't pay him this year, but yeah, $2,000. I mentioned that on the show the other day. It's like $1,000 a performer, basically. So they would have made a nice.
Sometimes I don't quite get the economics of making this work in such a small room and offering up $1,000 per performer for multiple performers. But I guess he made a profit. Well, especially since he didn't have to spend that money. They took themselves off the bill.
And you know what's interesting also is when did the financing and the economics become a topic of conversation? It's only to either, you know, contradict enemies or, you know, try to make a fool out of an enemy. I don't like that. And you know, I think John is the one who started all that shit about money, where people just feel the need to talk about, you know, what they're doing and how much they paid people as if it's some kind of flex. And I honestly think that it alienates the audience, because the audience couldn't give a shit. This is a directed message at some competitive show or some competitive personality. And anyway, all that to simply say is that Aaron seems to have fallen right into that also, which is another lolcow thing that, man, it is a way just to turn people off. And he is, if I were to just sit here and make a list of all the things he does to turn an audience off, I feel like it would completely outnumber the things that he does to entertain. And maybe that's just me.
He's getting those dark side field detractors giving him some attention. People who goof on people are really attaching themselves to him. And I don't know that he's completely, actually, I guess I do. It doesn't seem like he's accepted that. He believes he is the pointer, not the pointee at the ones laughing.
Nice little chunk of change. We would have done some golfing. Yesterday, they would have had a blast. Yesterday, me and a few people went to Granite City and had bloodies, like a couple of cackling housewives. It was great. And then, of course, sat outside and had a couple of drinks with my neighbors yesterday. But yes, it was a lot of fun. I know. Mike and I finally won the tournament. We won the cornhole tournament.
Oh, yeah, and you didn't let anyone forget that.
No, it would have been.
So this is getting towards the early festivities. What type of atmosphere was going on? It was just a hangout and have a party. Like, I think if he just removes himself from the stand-up show, then I have less of a problem with this anniversary show. That, well, he also wanted to have the roast of him. He didn't get any of his former, like the way that he was building it up. Oh, we'll get Corey back, we'll get Oz back. None of them came to the 10th anniversary show.
And do we know that he did ask them? He reached out and they just said no. Because that's funny.
He said that on air. He was getting so excited of we're going to have all the co-hosts from the former years. We're going to that's why brainstorming on air isn't the best of ideas, because we're going to have this litany of co-hosts, these 6 people who used to co-host on the show. It's been a while since we saw them. They're going to come back, and everyone said no.
Yikes. That is, oof, that's bad. Not even to roast him. Not even to roast. Like, they could have had free reign to shit on him, and they were like, I'm good, thanks. Oof.
It would have been 4 or 5 years in a row we'd been taking second place, and we finally won it.
He is really into cornhole, and this actually is something that is still popular in different parts of the country. Like beer pong, as I mentioned, reminds me of 2008, but cornhole is pretty darn popular for people to fuck off and do on different. So he's taking it quite seriously. He likes his cornhole.
Okay, cornhole can be fun. I'm not gonna goof on him for that. The only reason I goofed on him about the beer pong thing, regardless of the time frame, is that I just feel like it's an immature game. It's a game for kids, for new college students and
19 to 22-year-olds.
Exactly. And that just completely falls in line with his immaturity and his inability to accept reality and his inability to have any kind of inward self-reflection. And I don't know, man, it seems to really paint a very bad picture.
Spurg Snake, I was unaware that the food truck bailed on him just days before as well. And there's someone else who bailed on him too. I think it's in this clip. If not, at the end of it, I will say who else bailed on him.
It was the Kennedys.
Which is how we knew your every move.
And I may or may not have had an intro. Every time we played. Yeah, I believe what you might have said if you were there is we got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the Bags Tournament.
I took the mic.
So we have this big boisterous host to tell you who the winners are, but Aaron is going to announce himself.
Yeah, I went full pro wrestling heel.
Yeah. You'd had a few by this point too, so you were having fun.
After 5 years, Mike and I have finally got it done, and they will know from now until the end of time that the winner of this tournament
I'm sideways, people.
was
Oh, excuse me.
I know the heel heat.
So this is an obscure reference. If you were not aware of what the WWE was doing in the year 2008, you have no fucking idea what reference this is. This is an obscure one.
I do not. So maybe you can explain it to me. I do not know what that is.
It was a wrestler named Kennedy who would announce himself, and what he just did of doing it all annoying. Kennedy. That's so once again, Aaron being 15, 20 years behind the time with his WWE references. We're on to the bloodline now, Aaron. Talk about Jacob Fatu. God, and I don't even watch it. I just listen to Jim Cornette's podcast. If Jim Cornette did not talk about wrestling, I would not be up to date on what is happening with WWE. But I think everyone should listen to like the first hour of his program where it's the happy talk and he talks about whatever. Very funny guy.
I pretend to be a fan, but I'm really not. I was a fan up until like maybe 1989 when I realized that it wasn't actually real. And so I am not up to date on pro wrestling.
I know the exact time that I made a show, the Wrestlers Writing Room, in 2015, and I made it my homework to watch. Raw went from 2 hours to 3 hours, and watching all 3 hours and taking notes, and then making a sketch on what does the writers' room do from here.
That actually does sound kind of interesting.
That was where I stopped being a fan, where I actually sat and watched the whole damn thing for 4 weeks in a row. And I stopped being a fan after that. Up to that point, I would still say, I'm kind of into that silly shit. And you know, something from childhood. I still go to a show every once in a while. The local shows are fun. I went to the first AEW show in 2019, but Tony Khan ran me off from there. I'll have to get Earl Skakel on to have a debate there. He's still a fan. And I have an exact thesis statement on how they ran me and other people off. But that's really getting into the weeds.
Okay. Look forward to it.
Everybody was booing every time I did the intro. Every time it was just a chorus of boos. I was
slurring drunk in the afternoon.
Holy shit, go back to that Kennedy.
Oh, no, we're good. We don't need to go back to that.
I a lot more bombed than I thought I was. And then, beer pong after that. I got beat by a couple of girls in beer pong. Sang a bunch of songs, gay ones, straight ones, mostly gay ones. Got all my
beat by the lady in blue. Blue dress.
Yes. Got beat by her and my neighbor's wife. Let's get through
Matt
this.
had a funny bit too, and he didn't get to do it, but it was all good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Matt didn't know what he wanted to do for a bit, so he kind of ran it by.
Matt got stage time. Matt is Comedy Shaman calls Matt a meat shield. I find Matt to just be a body, like someone close. Come here, sit in this second seat so I can bounce off of someone. Matt had stage time. I'm fascinated about what he did. And answering King Yeti, I did go to a micro wrestling show within the past couple of years. Fun as hell. Definitely recommend the micro wrestling organization.
By me, and I thought it was pretty funny. He was gonna take his phone out and live stream so Melton could see what a packed comedy show looked like.
Oh, to educate him.
The room.
Yeah, to teach him.
He was gonna go.
We'll show that Melton
around the room and talk to people and do all that. I thought it would have been hilarious, but then when you called me up and I knew I was doing 45, I'm like, yeah, this whole thing has gone weirdly off. And then Cheetos.
45 minutes is headliner time. You really need to be a seasoned comic to have 45 minutes. And I haven't really heard Johnny Crutches talk about his stand-up career. He's talked about DJing, talked about enjoying doing the streaming stuff, but the stand-up, 45 minutes for a non-stand-up.
Joe's got me a stool so I could sit, and that was really great, but it had me sitting at an angle where I was still using my legs the whole time.
Oh, really?
So by the end of the 45 minutes, my legs just had nothing, and I had to crawl off the stage so I could get to the stairs so you're trying to do a bit, and then I'm on my hands and knees crawling off the stage.
Oh my God.
It was rough, man.
We shut it down too. Like we made it to close. And we got our ride. It was a fast, man. It went perfectly. And Matt and Grinch Girl.
Perfectly. It went perfectly. So something that I didn't notice until Carl Hamburger pointed it out, the Stoney's Bar logo there, in between the O, the B, and the R, it is the black background, which he did not get rid of.
Deserve, I think, a lot of the credit because
yeah, okay, I see it now.
That's something I did not notice on my own, and once that was pointed out by Mr. Hamburger, I was like, oh my goodness, that's so easily. Certainly within a few shows, I would notice that. But Aaron, he still has that going, and we've been with that clip for a while. I think I'll go on to the next one where we start talking about the court appearance. I want to make sure we get that one in. And what we didn't get to in that one, the karaoke guy didn't show up. No food truck, no former co-host. The karaoke guy got his dates mixed up, had the wrong dates. It's so funny how many people didn't make it. Not even the karaoke guy showed up.
Go!
And now we spent quite a while on the 10th anniversary show, and I don't want to be here all day for 4 hours like Aaron wants to be, and over outstairs, welcome. So I want to make sure we get to this court talk. This one is from our buddy Doom, entitled Aaron Imholte talks about court appearance and immediately violates harassment order. I think.
Yeah, this is fascinating. Way to go, Doom. He helped me out a lot in helping with doing some research on this, and he immediately sent this to me after he clipped it. And yeah, big thanks. Big shout out to Doom.
And there's going back and forth in the comments. People are letting him know. Do you think Aaron Imholte, so he's got a protective order. He's got an injunction. He is not allowed to mention Ashley LaRue. He is not allowed to mention his first wife on the program. And
directly or indirectly, meaning he can't hint at her, nor can he allow someone on his show to hint at her. Yeah.
And he's been a third party, trying to get away with referring to Ashley LaRue as a third party when it's blatantly her that he's talking about. I saw another clip where he's talking about his cousin, and then in the middle of it, don't worry, cousins, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about a third party. It's unbelievable to me that he thinks he's doing any type of subterfuge there. It is so blatant.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to emphasize the indirectly, because he, not to jump in and say that I know what he's thinking. I always hate when people do that, but it seems that what he believes is that he is, able to skirt around those requirements by being indirect, when in fact, no, that is covered by that restraining order, that he cannot indirectly say those things. And I don't know, man, the guy just thinks he's indestructible, or whatever the word is, invulnerable. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Both of those would work. I think both of those are proper for what he believes he is.
MSO says Aaron is inmate OU 812.
Yeah.
Do I have a number? I don't know. Either way.
I don't know. I looked you up and you weren't booked, so
No.
I was kind of bummed out about that.
I mean, I wasn't booked into jail, but
No.
I was fingerprinted. Like I was booked and fingerprinted.
No mugshot.
No mugshot.
Yeah.
Everyone, is sitting here going, oh, is there going to be a mugshot? I thought there was going to be a mugshot. today.
We were all excited for the mugshot.
Yeah, because I look fucking good. Holy shit. You know what's great?
What?
Is when people who hate you,
Yeah.
like Patrick or somebody, posts a picture that like somebody was waiting outside the courthouse and got a picture of me as I came out of the courthouse.
Are you fucking kidding?
And we do have that over here on the Twitterverse. NLO retweeted that. And I love the position. He looks constipated. A fantastic photo. I don't know how many you snapped, but this was a great one to look like. Well, is it constipated or is it holding in a turd? There's definitely some type of butt action that looks like he's focused on in this photo.
Yeah, I was saying earlier that everything about Aaron Imholte to me is insincere. Every word he says, and it could just be totally me, but something about that face he's making also just comes off as insincere. It's almost like he's trying to pose for a picture to look like he's contrite or deep into thought. And I just want to think, you're faking it. Everything about you is insincere. Just,
that face does look very put on, very deliberate, rather is the word. That looks like a very deliberate face. That is his serious walking up to court face. I agree with you there.
Yeah, I mean, it just gives me the creeps. Everything about him.
Kidding? Dude, I'm famous. I'm the man. I'm the fucking greatest thing. These people follow me all over the place. They love me. I'm
another Melton fan that has nothing better to do with their life than
they love me.
Bro, I'm the fucking man.
I'm the man. They love me. I am just taking win after win.
Just take the loss, Mr. Toeman.
It's so douchey, man. It just makes me cringe all over.
I really am. I can't help it anymore. I can't even be humble around these people. You follow me, you take pictures of me looking fucking dressed to the nines. I look fucking stunning. As evidence.
Spurgsnake, Mooby absolutely thinks he's a celebrity. He thought that it was the biggest news out there because his algorithm was filled with all the Ricada and Steel Toe stuff. And a lot of us here in this little niche corner of the internet that filtered into our algorithm as well. But we're a bunch of weirdos. We are a little corner of the internet. You, sir, are maybe he's a celebrity in St. Cloud being on a radio station. I don't know. He got 70 people to come see him without Nick Ricada or Chrissy Mayer. So 70 people you're a celebrity to.
As evidence, when they posted the picture online as like, there's Aaron coming out of the courthouse, there were people who I've seen tweet at me that I'm the biggest piece of shit in the world. And they go, he actually does look really good. Like they were like, it's tailored nice.
Gotta go back. He looks really good. Okay, I will give him that it looks tailored nice. He got it to his specifications. I will get him that he got that suit tailored to him. And that does help the look.
Well, okay, so I agree with you. Yes, it is a tailor suit. It looks nice, but I always immediately default to not believing someone when they say some people told me. That immediately makes me think the person is lying, because that is not a compliment that he would have gotten from more than one person to say, oh, with that whole backstory that he gives also of, I hate you and I think you're ugly. Oh, but you know what? You look good in that suit. You don't get that more than once. Just when he says some people, just
no, I don't believe that the NLO fans were telling him that he looks nice. I'm with you there. Those are compliments not being hurled at him from people who are watching him through the lens of Melton.
No, some people. Shut up.
Nice too. And I'm like,
good fucking suit.
My second favorite suit, motherfucker.
Nice.
So
which one was it?
I went with the light blue shirt, with the dark blue jacket.
The dark blue I agree with Sam Bibley on that one.
Belt, tie it together with some.
The one I just brought up, or is there another Bibley?
Oh, the one that just brought up, about men wearing golf shirts. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with him on that one. I used to do it, and I hated myself one day when I looked at myself in the mirror.
I have some polo shirts. I do not have any golf shirts. I wish I would have kept some of my Hawaiian shirts around from my Hawaiian shirt day. At some point, like you went with, fuck these golf shirts. I went, what am I doing with all these Hawaiian shirts? Should have kept around a couple of them.
some beautiful high mirror shined brown dress shoes.
There you go.
Looked great. And then we have there are things
It's exhausting.
I can't say.
I'm sorry,
yeah,
man.
obviously.
This guy is just exhausting. He's taking up airtime to talk about his fucking shoes. It's just exhausting. I'm sorry. I'm done. Rant over.
Can't mention. But there is a, let's just say something, there is some.
I do love the dainty way that he picks up his cans. This is very consistent. The dainty holding of his cans.
And it's so performative. Like it's almost like I mean, nothing about him comes off as human. He's a lizard person. He's a lizard alien wearing a human costume. Just, I mean, like nothing he does actually looks sincere. Nothing.
I believe he's more of an orangutan person than a lizard person.
All right, I'll go with that. You win.
Those arms, them there's some orangutan arms.
Something in this world, let's call it the Constitution.
Okay.
That is being amended.
Yes.
In a way that is very good for all involved.
Okay.
Let's just say
this is how humans drink.
Gotcha.
Today,
humans don't just splash it on them and seep it through their skin. Humans drink through the mouth.
Exactly. It's like, this is how humans talk.
Was a very, very good day. I went in. Let's talk about
Did you fuck around and get a triple double? Was it?
I do have to say, as bad of a joke as that is, I don't know that I wouldn't make that same bad joke of quoting the Ice Cube song. Thank you, Matt, for taking that shitty joke bullet that I myself might have done, because sometimes I just can't resist it.
I missed that. I missed the reference. Okay, thank you for putting it, giving it context.
Today was a good day by Ice Cube.
Got it.
Fucked around and got a triple double. I might have done that. Thank you for taking that out of my mouth before I could have embarrassed myself, Matt, because it might have been a thing. All right, 342 we're jumping to, according to my notes.
199 from Kip says, remain locked.
All right, and here, thank you, Doom, for including the text. Respondent must prohibit his wife, April Imholte, and co-hosts, covering all co-hosts, from directly or indirectly talking about petitioner, Ashley LaRue, and or making direct or indirect disparaging and or harassing comments about Ashley LaRue during any online broadcast shows or social media accounts that respondent has control of. No Aaron Imholte social media, no Aaron Imholte live streams, edited videos, anything that Aaron controls, no speaking of Ashley Imholte, period.
Law abiding Imholte, can you do that? I mean, so far, so good. Shane M with $10. You ain't gonna get me to fucking read that shit. I know what you cunts are doing. Don't you shut your cunt mouth, Shane M. And thank you. What I meant to say was thank you for the $10. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you.
$10 to break your protective order.
Yeah,
come on, buddy.
So like I feel like we do have to give a little bit of context there because we don't see it. But yes, someone sent him a super chat as bait to get him to talk about his ex-wife, the petitioner, as per this text right here, to totally get him to break the restraining order, get him in trouble before the day is over, in which he was just in court and warned to shut his fucking mouth.
That's right. This is the evening show. He's talking about his court appearance that they said, shut up about Ashley. You've been told this before. You're being told again.
Yes, or else you will go to jail for 80 days, 90 days?
90 days, according to this bullet point.
If you talk about her, or if your co-hosts talk about her, and it doesn't even have to be about her directly. It could be talking about her indirectly. I mean, like they did such a good job of covering all of the ground and explaining it well to him. And someone sent this in as bait for $10, and this is how he responds.
You're a nice man, and I've gone off the handle. So we have $180 away from tonight's goal, and you'll see the note attached to it for the commissary fund.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could read his and give him advice, right?
You can read that. Go ahead, Shane M. $10.
The mother of my children also screwed me over. Any advice on this topic? Find yourself a good attorney. Pay him lots.
Thank you, Doom. The perfect sound effect for it. I can read it, right? Aaron says right, and then Doom go into the judge's booth.
Idiot. What a fucking moron. I mean, the day wasn't even over yet. Oh boy.
Advice, right?
You
just a little further back. I want to get him. I'm fine, right? Yeah, I'm not you, but you control him as one of the co-hosts to doggy soon, doggy.
I mean, I could read his and give him advice, right?
You can read that. Go ahead, Shane M. $10.
The mother of my children also screwed me over. Any advice on this topic? Find yourself a good attorney. Pay him lots of fucking money. That's my advice.
And I've never been in such situation, so I don't know.
That's just what I've heard you have to do.
Got him. We fucking got him.
Even the prosecutor goes,
and once again, bringing it up here is shut up. Talking about your court appearance with her is talking about her.
Man,
I can attest to what Mr. Imholte.
I wonder if Miss LaRue is watching Doom's videos. I would love to know if she is.
And I love Doom's little bug here where he photoshops the Doom helmet over the My Pillow guy.
Yeah, that is funny.
The relationship between him and blah, 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 is much better, is very good, and everyone's very happy. And blah, blah. I'm like, fucking hell, what did I walk into here? This is nice. Take a little responsibility for your actions. Say that's all in the past. I'm really sorry.
Well, and you made change.
Yeah, and you made change. Yes. And then everyone goes, fucking guy's all right. Like, even the people on the other side of you are like, hey, this fucking guy's okay. Go get your fucking fingerprints.
Everyone in the courtroom is applauding him. This is a Stuttering John retelling of being a substitute teacher. They all, the kids loved me. They loved when I went boom. All the courtroom. They said, you're a good guy. You learned your lesson. Nope. Couple hours later, showing that the lesson is not learned.
You know who does a great recap of this mindset is Carl. Carl does such a great job of talking about how narcissistic people have fantasies and that they live out their fantasies and they can't help talk about their fantasies on the air. I mean, like at least when they have, the platform to do so. So when you hear John talk about all of my enemies are going to go to jail, and then he has like this big, long, in-depth explanation of every step along the way that's going to happen to fulfill his fantasy. It's so sad and pathetic, but it is a symptom, or at least, some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Confirmation of narcissism. And this is exactly what Aaron is doing right here. I mean, he's creating
the world around him,
creating the world around him.
Seen it through multiple lolcows. Aaron is one of them, creating this world where he is getting the win over and over again, all around him. When there's video evidence that makes us watchers and listeners say, nah, that didn't look like a win, sir.
Yeah, and then the fantasy simply becomes his reality. I mean, like or at least in a way that influences his personality or his perception of it, where even though he knows it's fantasy, he somehow relies on it to make a point or some sort of, some sort of statement of the real reality. My God, I'm sorry. I realize I'm talking in circles, but I really, it all makes sense in my head. I'm just not able to say it out loud.
If you're going to talk in circles, then you're doing your Aaron Imholte impression.
Yeah,
Proper place to do it.
I should just stop.
I'm like, all right, I'll get the fuck out of here and get your fingerprints. We don't need you anymore. I'm like, all right. It was nice. It was a decent experience.
Yeah.
I was glad to do it. Glad to take what I told my lawyer today was like, I feel like this is me exercising the last vestiges of that part of my life.
Yeah.
Like I took that shitty, horrible, life-destroying April, Kayla, Nick, Aaron team that was toxic and fucking horrible and awful and led to so many other ricochet effects that affected other people.
Yep.
This was me accepting like the last portion of responsibility for that.
Yeah.
And exercising it. It felt.
I do love how he has been atoning ever since he started tattling. Once he started tattling on his buddies who are doing coke, and then the police are like, wait a minute. The biggest problem about laughing at that situation is the 5 kids that were in the middle of that. So I guess I am kind of on his side for tattling because there were 5 kids, but it took him a while to be like, I care about those kids who I neglected for several months while I went and swapped wives.
I really kind of tuned out during a lot of that, but it from what I'm understanding is that he denied being the tattler, which honestly, that boggles my mind too. I guess he didn't want to be viewed as a snitch, but you're talking about you're talking about children, like snitch or not, whatever, dude, do what you got to do. And maybe even own up to it. You could have gotten some respect for owning up to it, but he even denied that. And it's like, none of his moves make sense to me. None of them.
When he started coming clean, it was like, oh, this might be an Aaron good guy turn. It's so funny how in trying to come out like the good guy, he got us to double down on, no, you're not the good guy. You're someone fun to laugh at.
But he could have, even if it was done out of malice or, envy because of the fact that, Rekieta stole his wife, he could have, and he seems perfectly capable of lying about it. He could have lied and said, I did it because of kids. And once kids got involved, I'm not going to fuck around with this. I'm not going to play around. He really could have made a stand, but he didn't.
He did try to say that, but everyone saw right through that because the kids would be such a minor part of it, and him just being angry would be the major part of it. So that when he did say, people like to quote Eric Cartman or Maud Flanders, the kids, think about the children. Oh no, that was Reverend Lovejoy's wife. But it was just so obviously put on when he's rallying full of spite and then trying to put some compassion in there, as principled uncertainty is pointing out, but no one was buying it.
No. And you are 100% right. And I remember all that. None of that was believable. It was his way of pursuing it. I'm talking specifically about taking credit for being the rat. He's denied it. And I think that he could have, maybe not successfully, but he could have taken a different perspective on that, at least as far as his audience was concerned, and said, yes, I was the rat. And I was the rat because of the kids, and left it at that. But he just wasn't capable of even living that fantasy out because he was just full of spite. I'm saying, you said it best. He could have had a good guy turn if he would have played his cards right, but he didn't. So the guy is just addicted to looking like a cringy douche. So there you go.
Felt really good.
Good.
And
fucking good. And I'm happy for it.
I had people waiting outside the courtroom, just like, here he comes. I'm like, yeah, fuck.
One.
You can soak it in, bitch. We got this. $135 fine. That's what it cost me. Paid me 135 buckaroonies.
Wait, that's all it did cost you, but get ready for 90 days.
Man, it's just insane. He just can't keep his fucking mouth shut.
I would have probably golfed that away this morning anyway. You know,
so it's a win. It's a win for the toe.
Footage for just
always a win for the toe man.
Discovery, because I'm going to prove that they can't prove it was me on that thing. One of the we went back outside, and one of the lawyers who was there and wasn't there looked at my lawyer and said, "He's pulling a Ricada." I laughed, dude. I got out of the courtroom. I hit my fucking knees. I was laughing so hard, and
it's a good thing that he stopped talking about the Ricadas in April. I'm so glad he made that declaration that he's done talking about it and he's moved on with his life, because he has done just that.
That didn't happen.
Aaron Imholte is the host.
So Doom has another video up. This is a re-upload. The original creator wishes to remain unnamed. But here's just a little preview. An hour and 18 minutes.
Yeah, I watched some of it. This is insane. This is pretty funny.
Yeah, to take us out, not a cutoff of Sting's album, and I don't think I'll ever stop making that shitty joke. To take us out, fuck, I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Not working. It's not working.
So yeah, let's just jump to a random point in here and see part of the 1 hour and 18-minute compilation that Doom has re-uploaded from a creator who wants to remain anonymous. Ooh, maybe it's someone from the inside. Maybe it's Matt. Wonder who this anonymous creator is that curated so many instances of him breaking this injunction to not mention Ashley.
Raised and shall never be crossed again.
We're in good shape now.
Yeah.
We're in good shape now. Yeah. Her and I are in a good spot. I like the spot we're in. It's nice, you know. There doesn't have to be any fucking unnecessary conflict that I need to then defend. That's kind of nice. I like that. You know, look, the broads can be crazy sometimes, you know? And then here's the problem with dudes. When the broads get crazy, the guys sometimes get crazy too. And then
bringing in the new husband. We're good, but sometimes she's crazy, and sometimes her new husband is crazy. Maybe he's going to try to work around and only talk about the new husband of Ashley LaRue. He's not the petitioner. See if you can work that, Aaron.
It's amazing. Just amazing.
Off you go. Off you go. 335 is our number today. If you'd like to contribute, Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Venmo. If I'm going to get over what's going on in my life right now, I have to be 100% honest with you about what I've done before I tell you anything about what anyone else is.
BetterHelp.com, Aaron. There's places you can talk about this without violating a protection order.
Done. I've done X, Y, Z, back to A, back to B, back to C, back to D. I've done all of these things. And you know what I found out? I have amazing friends. I have incredible family. I have people who are more forgiving for me than they should be.
Forgiving
I
for
have
me.
An ex-wife who
This is just a couple of months ago. There is no third party. I have seen so many third party clips where that's a blatant one, not talking around it at all. I have an ex-wife. Go on.
I confided all of these things in, and she said, our children are so happy. They are so good that you have made this call. They are so happy with you. They're having so much fun.
I want to give him the Stuttering John voice now. My ex-wife said, what you are doing is so good for the children. You are coming forward and just being such a great example for the children.
My ex-wife said that I'm the best ex-husband she's ever had. It's so
This
cringy,
is the best
man.
thing.
It's really sounding like that. And he's, I was going to say he's not an alcoholic. I guess we'll see. Maybe that'll seep into the show. Actually, I'm going to promote that. You drank during your stand-up show. Drink during your show. Let's see.
Hey, yeah, can only help.
For every $10 super chat, you'll take a swig of beer. For every $50 super chat, you'll down some whiskey. How about that? Yeah. Worked for Darkside Phil, I think. Maybe his drinking stream.
Best they've ever been. This is a good thing. And I can't thank her enough. Have I always been the best to her? No. Has she always been the best to me? In my opinion, no. But I could be kind of a dick too. I know that's hard to believe. No, and by the way, no, my ex-wife does not have herpes. I just don't want to tell you.
That doesn't sound like a super chat. It looked like one of these free chats that you could absolutely just go to and skip.
Oh my God. Just, I mean, he literally just can't shut up. I mean, the court has said, just stop. You can talk about anything else except this one subject, and he can't do it. I mean, it's astounding.
Tell you guys I got it from my dad because that sounds weird. You know, let's sign everything and be done. Get me I don't want to be tangentially associated with any of this fucking horse shit. I got, my ex-wife going, I saw the video. My ex-wife sending me shit going,
I'm glad we're not playing a drinking game with every time he's saying my ex-wife. Oh boy, we're going to be hammered.
And that is funny. Okay, so I said like just a few minutes ago, I wonder if his ex-wife is watching the Doom videos, and this would suggest that maybe she is.
Going, I saw the video.
All right here in one place for you. You don't need to sift all over multiple Doom videos. Right here. I believe all these were before the court appearance. So hope the Clippers are starting a new compilation. We saw one already of him violating that immediately after the court appearance.
Can you and I talk? I need to make sure that none of this is around, you or you're not anywhere. I'm like, here we fucking go. And not in a bad way. She's just
wow, that took a turn. No. I'm not saying anything bad. Not saying anything bad. Oh, and you know what? That's probably actually what is going on in his mind. He interpreted that restraining order as don't say anything negative about the ex-wife, when in fact it just says don't say anything, period. And he's like, and oh my God, that's just another level of narcissism. He thinks he is, without even having to check or read it or understand it. He's like, no, I got it. I figured, I know what it says. And that appears completely wrong.
That appears to be accurate. Because nothing bad. So he appears to be covering his ass. I am not violating that restraining order. And this is back in May. So maybe he got a talking to, and it was around June, July, where he started using third party over and over again, as I've gotten used to. And he just can't help himself.
That's amazing.
Her and I are 100% in lockstep. We're good.
So let me keep talking about it.
So that shit, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's just get it done so I cannot be even tangentially connected to this, because it's fucking embarrassing, really. All right, should we turn on the camera and should we move on and do a show? That would be nice. I know you guys want me to talk about all kinds of shit, but somebody says you're talking the ex-wife. Oh yeah, I guess I have to specify wife number one.
No, don't specify. You have plausible deniability that you were talking about April, you asshole.
What an idiot. Oh my gosh. Wow.
I mean, Jesus Christ. April and I had an HRO meeting with my lawyer about the stuff my ex-wife was doing. My ex-wife didn't, let's just say didn't want certain people driving the children.
What are you even trying to talk around? Oh, this is just unbelievable. Do not make a drinking game with this one, folks. Beer pong is better for your health than playing a drinking game to of this.
And
amazing.
I show up for that because I was like, all right, let's get this over with, blah, blah, blah.
Rogue Diva, that was Keanu there on his right. And she also has denounced him. I think since then, she was Team April, and now she's Team Nobody, if I am following that correctly. Because Aaron, once April left the show, he went running to their comedian friends. Do the show for me once a week, please, 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 before they could really fathom what's going on and be like, this is... I don't want to be too far on your side, but yep, another 2 broken relationships here we see of Ricada, and oh man, he's just not good with keeping friends.
Blah, the whole deal, and she didn't show up for that. So like, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Someone pretending to be my first.
Oh, he's looking at his monitor, Captain Miserable. When he's looking off to his right, that's him checking out his monitor. And I have 2 monitors as well. One monitor over here, one monitor over here. So that is who both him and I are talking to when we are kind of looking about. So we're about at 2 hours. We got a little bit of a taste of that hour and 18 minutes of him breaking that protective order, and covered the 2 bases that I wanted to today of the 10th anniversary show, where people who did exactly what Aaron did last year are bad children. Don't do as I say, not as I do, children. And the protective order that he is just violating away.
And I mean, just the lack of responsibility that he takes when in fact he is the one leading the cause of all of his problems, and especially the problems and specifically the problems that he's addressing. I can't believe they did this. You started it, you dick. It's amazing. I'm starting to see what people see in this guy. I've avoided it. I've really been late to the game on this guy, but now I see it. The guy is just a study in so many mental disorders. Jesus Christ, what a delusional dickhead.
The way I went down a Dark Side Phil and a Chris Chan rabbit hole, he is of similar mental capacity. His just funny to look at. I'm like at a loss for words now and trying to fully encapsulate what is up with Aaron Imholte, which is why I'm back here every other week. Not making this kind of an anchor, but not too much of an anchor of my channel. Thank you all for joining. Check out my other shows. We've got yes, puppy. We're doing it soon. I'm wrapping up.
That little guy needs to get out. He's angry.
Puppy has said, "No, motherfucker, you are not going overtime by 5 minutes. We are wrapping up.
I'm in charge here. Human."
Thank you for filling in, Luigi Greenberg. Your
My
Papa
pleasure.
Electro Twitter is where people can check out some fun AI art, and you are quick. You're making a bunch for your show as well. Unboxing Eric Sundays at 9 Eastern?
9 Eastern, yes. 8 Central, and also my YouTube channel. It's the same as my Twitter handle at Papa_Electrico. And there I am putting together a playlist of what I consider to be the most important moments in the Dabbleverse. And if anyone wants to make a suggestion or have any kind of input on the playlist, I welcome it. Please just send me a message. And also for Unboxing Eric, we have put out the request for anyone to let us know if they want to see Eric's face added to any personal pictures, maybe family members, something like that, to be displayed on the show. That's a big part of the show, is we put Eric's face on a lot of different things, like Superman, like on my shirt right here. So Thank you very much for having me, man. This was fun. I really appreciate it. And now I have something else to occupy my time during the day when I'm listening to random shit. I'm going to start listening to this asshole just to laugh at him.
Absolutely. You are one of the newest Clippers. And as I've been saying a while, the Beloved Chatter's Beloved One saga, that one, it might take a little time to accumulate and edit together the clips. That is when I had the most fun as watching what was going on in the Stuttering John world. Was I think it was around October before, it was right before he left the first time, that the Beloved Chatter's Beloved One. So many people covered it. Shuli, Anthony, Carl, just analyzing. Okay, let's give John the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he really is raising this money for a cancer patient. The way he's doing it is wildly illegal.
If you look at my clip of the cancer charity, I specifically addressed what you just talked about, but it was from the Anthony Cumia show. Or I'm sorry, no, it was Carl covering the Anthony Cumia show. And I believe it was Vinny Paulino just takes this devil's advocate approach and he says, okay, let's all just say for just a moment, does anyone here believe that this could possibly be real and that John is just possibly doing it the wrong way and that maybe his heart is in the right place? And there is a universal no. and I loved that clip so much. So that is how I cover the cancer charity scheme, just because I thought that was just so that just just completely encapsulated exactly.
You got everyone all there. A bunch of the big hitters, Puppy, Anthony, Carl, and Vinny, all in the same place to be like, no, this is horseshit.
No, there's no devil's advocate here. Yeah.
So check out Papa Electro. I will be back tomorrow, Tuesday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and Puppy may be back because this is a bit of a madhouse, and I have to give a hand of watching Puppy and doggies. So be back tomorrow for TikTok around the clock. T.S. Luna, no mustaches allowed, will be back, and I will have my first bonus video for members on Friday. Puppy, you are getting tangled up in these wires. Please don't move. Let me exit this show, and then I will get you untangled. Thanks you for again, joining me, Luigi Greenberg. Thank you, viewers, for joining. And now feel free to go away as I find my outro.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LS, MFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right, dear honey, with the right left date. Grand right and left, around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girls. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LS, MFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a lucky strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a lucky strike.